It's the champ, Shannon the Cannon, two-time heavyweight champion of the world. And you're watching Sports Icons. Subscribe. Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. Champ.
So Junior Dos Santos is calling out Deontay Wilder for a boxing fight where he sees a lot of holes in Deontay Wilder's game that he can exploit and beat him. Now, Junior Dos Santos, he's going to be fighting some guy this weekend called Francis Ngannou in the main event of a UFC in Minneapolis. And then he wants to take on the winner of Cormier and Miocic, whatever. Sorry guys, I don't know UFC and MMA fighters at all, but I do know who Junior Dos Santos is. I've heard of him, of course, hence the reason why I'm doing this video. Now, in this article, which I'll put in the description box for you guys to go have a read, is that he plans on winning this weekend and then going on for the UFC Heavyweight World title fight. Then once he gets that one, then he believes that he'll have the platform to promote a fight with Deontay Wilder. Now, to be fair, this is the kind of thing that Wilder would love. Wilder would love to fight these kind of guys. Why? Because he's got more of a chance of beating them quite comfortably, to be honest. Much like when Wilder, he called out Brock Lesnar. Probably about 2 years ago he did that. So I think that this is the kind of thing that Wilder would do. I don't know how popular Junior Dos Santos is. I'm presuming he's pretty popular. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have heard of him. But he's probably going to bring a big enough platform to make that kind of fight happen. Now, obviously, it won't be for any kind of world title or anything. It would have to be some kind of exhibition because as much as the WBC do protect Wilder and all that kind of thing, I wouldn't imagine that they would allow him to defend his title against Junior Dos Santos. Hey, listen, you never know. It's a WBC, right? But either way, he sees a lot of holes in Wilder's game that he believes he can exploit. Now, is it a money move? I wouldn't have thought so because Wilder doesn't rub two pennies together. He doesn't bring anything to the boxing world financially. But at the same time, you can kind of see that Junior Dos Santos doesn't know too much about boxing. Now, apparently he's a good boxer himself. He says that if he was to remove the kicks and the wrestling moves and all this kind of thing and just concentrating on boxing, that's a paradise for him, in his own words. But he's saying that how Wilder, he doesn't cherry pick opponents and he fights all the best guys around him and whatever. This shows in itself he doesn't know too much about boxing because Wilder has a terrible, terrible resume of bodies. Absolutely terrible. There's so many fighters that he could have fought but never did. But regardless of that one, is it a fight that the public would probably want to see? Yeah, I mean, I imagine so. I mean, the UFC versus boxing kind of situation, yeah, of course, that's something that people would love. Now, Junior Dos Santos, he was calling out Vladimir Klitschko back in 2012, I think it was, when he was UFC Heavyweight Champion. And Klitschko was saying, yeah, okay, cool, let's do it. But then ultimately, he ended up losing his title, as in Dos Santos ended up losing his title. So this fight never happened. So, or in his own words, the fight never happened because he wasn't champion anymore. He didn't feel that it was necessary to promote that fight anymore because people just wouldn't have watched it. People would have watched it when Klitschko was champion and he was champion of, obviously, different sports, but still, it's they're both still combat. So much like Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather, this is what he wants, but he wants it against Wilder. So he believes that he can beat Wilder. I mean, to beat Wilder, really, you just need some kind of boxing skill and avoid that big punch, right? Easier said than done, that's for sure. Wilder always has a canny little knack of landing that big punch. So if you're not a boxer, there's a very good chance that Wilder's going to land that punch pretty early doors. So if you are Junior Dos Santos, I imagine that you've got to be pretty nuts to go in there with Wilder. But anyway, who knows? I mean, I'm sure you guys know a lot more about Junior Dos Santos as to whether or not he can hold his own in a boxing ring. You guys will know a lot more about him than what I do because I know many of you guys do follow the UFC, whereas I don't. So anyway, that's the news. Article in the description box. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.